When you see people like Maxine Waters and Al Pacino and Madonna and Kathy Griffin and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the entire Democratic administration constantly threatening Donald Trump's life, calling him a threat to democracy, and in cases like Kathy Griffin, where she shows the severed head, a very graphic severed head, and holds it up of Trump. And when Madonna says she wants to bomb the White House while he's president, why Maxine Waters tells people to gather around and to not let people leave and attack them. And when Al Pacino and other senators says that he wants to punch Trump in the face. And when you have Harris and Biden saying that Republicans are a threat to democracy, and then they turn around and say, at the debate, Harris has the nerve to say, Democrats don't like name calling. We don't like name calling. We don't like being divisive. Your favorite thing in the planet is to be divisive. You're the one that puts people in boxes and labels people and puts them in neat little packages. You're the one that is insistent that people identify as something, that they are passionate about race, and that your race does matter, that your race absolutely matters. That is what is of the utmost importance. Same with your gender. Only if you're transgender, and only if you're gay, of course, because man or woman has to be told to be called cis. We are told that that's what we identify as. Meanwhile, you preach that you don't feel the government needs to be at all involved in anything. But in the meantime, you are shoving vaccinations down people's throats and telling them if they don't get them, that they will be fired. They will lose their livelihood. You are trying to tell us that Trump is pro 2025, and he's not. He made it very clear that he hasn't even read it. But you guys are spreading false information and then claiming that you're telling the truth all the time. I'm just not understanding how, after the second assassination attempt on Trump, how the Democrats can say that they are tired of the rhetoric. They are not divisive. They are tired of the name calling. They are the ones that have started this, and nobody else has been doing this but them. They are the ones threatening to bomb the White House, Madonna. They are the ones that are showing severed heads. Kathy Griffin, who no one listens to anyways, but she shouldn't be allowed to do it or say it. And you have Al Pacino and all of these celebrities threatening Trump and its supporters, and Biden threatening supporters. And then you wonder why, calling them Nazis and racists. When you talk to Jewish people, when you talk to actual Jewish people, and you tell them that you equate Donald Trump to a Nazi, see what they say. See what they tell you. Hear what they have to say, because that is asinine. And you call people bigot, racist, Nazis all the time. I know, because I've been called it a million times over nothing. You have no proof. You've never had proof, and yet you're allowed to constantly flap your gums and open your mouth, because that is freedom of speech, something that you claim that you don't get. Yet we are the ones that have been proven time and time again, Republican Party, to be censored and censored and censored. The media does not put out the correct information. It is proven that Donald Trump only got 11% of media attention, and it was all negative. 11%. 11. Okay? Meanwhile, Kamala the killer, and she is because of COVID, and she is a killer because of Afghanistan, and she is a killer because she believes in late-term abortion, which she never answered the question. But that Kamala the killer gets like 89%, and it's all good. It's all positive. But no, there's no censorship or biasness going on at all. The debates didn't prove that at all when it was 3-on-1 and they did fact checking, which they didn't even do their fact checking, and it was only on Trump. And yet we sit here and wonder why on earth there was a second assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Do you think it's weird that only Donald Trump has been has had his life and his family's life delved into by the CIA, the FBI, by every branch of the government for the past 8 years, and they couldn't come up with jack crap, only made up baloney? And currently, we have a president who is missing in action that our vice president claims is in great mental health. He is in great mental health. Then where is he and why isn't he the president? Why did he step down and why are you running the show? And why are you not taking any accountability? Because you admitted in your own words that everything is expensive right now, that diapers and gas and expensive and food is expensive right now. You admitted it. And it's during your administration. Where have you been? And no one is equating that. Kamala is not new. She's been here all along. And she is the reason that she admits that the economy is in the toilet and then never answered the question on the debate. Is the economy better now than it was 4 years ago? She launched into her stories about childhood that has nothing to do with a yes or a no question. And the answer is yes, it was better 4 years ago. And the facts that Democrats hate, the facts are there to prove it. So you wonder why there was a second attempt? It's because the Democrats did it. Kamala the killer. Kamala hates babies. She hates children. She hates minors because she tries to kill them all. That is why there's sex trafficking. That is why it's allowed to get mutilated and it is allowed to have transgender, gender identifying surgery. Sorry, I can't talk. It is okay to have your body mutilated, your breast cut off, your penis cut off. As a minor, have your parents be completely unaware of it. It is okay to get late-term abortion. Again, she never answered the question. She was specifically asked, how late are we talking? What's the cutoff? What is the cutoff for abortion? She never answered it. It really is true that there are babies that are killed, murdered after they are born, and they are put to side. The past Ohio governor admitted it, that it was that the babies were born, they were cast aside, they were just put aside. What do you think happens to them? It is proven that there are states that have places that it is okay to have late-term abortion and to have a baby and the baby gets set aside. There is also Planned Parenthood that comes in while the baby is in its 8th term and can hear and see, and if it were born, we would keep that baby alive and it would be a baby. They go in and rip off its arms and rip off its legs and sell it on the black market. That's a fact. So Harris is for all of these things. She's Harris the killer, Kamala the killer. She hates America and she's trying to kill America. She hates children by sex trafficking and making it okay to have their body parts mutilated and late-term abortions. So she clearly is fine with killing people. She's the reason that my mom died in a nursing home. She's the reason that many people died from COVID and in nursing homes because Biden and Kamala shut down everything and did not allow enough CNAs or care staff to be able to work because they threatened their jobs if they didn't get vaccinated. And there wasn't enough care because they already have a problem with care because they're not paid enough. But they weren't allowed to see their family. They were kept away from their family. They were kept away from activities. I know I was a CNA for 9 years, and I know that when you keep residents away from their families and you keep them away from activities and being social, it for a fact wears on them, and it is not good for their livelihood. They had to die alone without their families around. I lost my mom. She was getting dementia. I wasn't allowed to see her before her dementia kicked in. So I wanted to see her before she forgot me. and while she could still use a phone. And I was kept away by Kate Brown. Kate Brown kept me away from my mom and kept my mom away from me. And she had to die alone and scared, I know, because she was allowed to make phone calls when she still knew her phone number. And she would say, please come get me. Please come get me. I am scared. I don't want to die alone. Please and come get me. I don't want to die alone. And I was told I wasn't allowed to go see my mom. I did anyway. I told them they can arrest me. That's fine. They didn't, to their credit. But Kamala the killer, that's who you'd be voting for. Kamala the killer. Just keep that in mind.